I'm really really excited. I finally got a MacBook. I'm so excited. I sent my sisters a message when I bought this, and they were like, we're so proud of you. We're so proud of you, because I will count every penny when it comes to spending money on myself. So I'm really excited that I'm doing this, and I'm really excited that I finally made the commitment to get a MacBook Pro. Today, basically, I'm going to be opening up this laptop. I've had the MacBook for under 30 days before. I got a refurbished one from Amazon. I'm going to put the link to that video somewhere here. It was my first time ever actually holding a MacBook and actually using it. I used it to edit a video, and unfortunately, when I was editing, I noticed that it overheated, and then I was just like, right, I can't be asked to deal with this. Let me just try and find something brand new. So I ended up sticking with my old computer, which is a HP. I can't remember the specs of the HP, but it's an old HP. I've had that for 7 years now, or maybe longer. And honestly, I'm now at the point where my keys on the HP, I have to you know this thing of actively type in to actually get the keys to work. And I was just like, okay, why am I suffering? So some of the reasons why, I'll tell you the two key reasons why I decided to move to a MacBook Pro, or a MacBook in general, just the Apple ecosystem. I use iPhones, right? So if maybe I use an Android phone, then it probably would have made sense, but I use an iPhone, and I have two iPhones actually. One of them is my work iPhone, one of them is my personal iPhone. So I'm already tied in, and I do a lot of things basically on my phone. When I, for example, want to edit a thumbnail, I do that on my phone, on my app on my phone. And so I'm finding that, okay, if I finally edit that and then I want to send it to maybe to my laptop, obviously, to then add it to YouTube, for example, I'm really struggling. So that one, I finally found the way around it. But then it's things like I take videos. That's the biggest ick. I take videos on my phone, on my iPhone, and when it's time to actually transfer those videos from my iPhone into my laptop, it's just a whole thing. And I'm just like, I just can't be asked with that. So I got a MacBook because I want integrated features, because I'm already using an iPhone and it just makes sense for me, right? That's number one. Number two is that at the moment, my regular laptop is just really struggling to render my videos on time. I edit my YouTube videos with DaVinci Resolve. If you don't know about the software, you should go and find out. It's free and it's fantastic. So I edit it with DaVinci Resolve. And unfortunately, it just takes every time, I think the last time I did a 30-minute vlog or 40-minute vlog when I was in Singapore. You should definitely also check that out. It just took me so long to actually edit, render that video. And I was just like, I just can't be asked to deal with this. And then obviously, other than the fact that my laptop was falling apart, but these were the main reasons that made me just think, okay, let me commit. Now, when it was time to actually look for a MacBook, I must admit, I'm not too crazy about the specs in terms of I'm not gonna find that one specific thing. I just know that it needed to have 8 gig RAM, which this does. I think this has 16 gig RAM, but we're gonna go through that. And then I needed space. So I definitely need at least 1 terabyte, which these days isn't a lot for me anyway, but I think at least if I have 1 terabyte in my computer, then on an emergency basis, I'm not going to be running to try and figure out where to where to put stuff, because I've got 1 terabyte and then I have my hard drives obviously that I can plug into it. So those were the things that I need. Other things that I needed something that had a crisp look in terms of the visuals, because I do editing, so I think that when I'm editing a video and it looks nice on camera, it just makes it, not on camera but on whatever I'm editing it on, it makes it a much more exciting process for me, rather than having to deal with something that the color is ugh. And then again, I got my laptop in 2018. I think it's a 2016 laptop, so it's just kind of out of date from that perspective. Another thing I'm gonna say as well is I needed a decent amount of stuff, because I've heard that Apple are kind of moving mad with their minimalist behavior, and in terms of the amount of USB ports that you have. So I was just like, I can't be asked to deal with that. I need an SD card slot. I'm not going to be carrying around this extra SD card. I was thinking about that, because then it probably would have shaved off £300-400 off of the cost of the laptop if I'd gone with maybe the Air model that doesn't have the SD card slots. But I was just like, ugh, I can't. I'm so sorry. Like, I will spend the money because I don't plan to buy a laptop for the next 8 to 10 years. So ideally, I was just like, okay, let me get in what's in on the market. Obviously, eventually, it's going to be the oldest laptop in the market and not the newest market laptop anymore, but at least let me get up to date with where we currently are, so at least I have a better chance of not falling too far behind in the future. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I decided to just go with the Pro rather than the Air, even though the Air costs so much more. The number of ports that you have, yes, there's all these extra specs that you would probably get on the you definitely do get on the MacBook Pro, but for me it wasn't about the extra specs. It was more about the fact that I had more ports on the MacBook Pro. I'm gonna unbox it now, and then we're gonna have a look at the actual laptops because it's gonna take a lot of time to set it all up. So I don't want to sit here talking rather than get through that. So let's open this up. I love the feeling of like opening up a laptop. Whee! Whee! Oh my goodness. This is so cool. So I'm gonna try and open it up this way. You've got these green things that I just mentioned that I will try and open, even though I'm scared, but I'm gonna do that now. Let me just rip off the band-aid. So as I said, this is a M4 chip, 16 gig memory, 1 terabyte storage, so which is great, and it's 14 inches. Whee! Ooh, yeah, that feels good. Okay. Wow. Come on, MacBook. Come through. I really like this color more than the other ones, but this is what you get in the box. So opening the box, this is the main thingy here. And then you've got the laptop obviously sitting right on top. Gonna talk about that. And then inside the box, you have the charging point, the charger, which, does it come with a head, or have they still decided that they don't want to give us the head? They better, because me, I don't have, okay, actually it's a USB-C, so I do have that. And then what else do you have here? You've got some leaflets designed by Apple in California. I'm guessing this is just a leaflet telling you stuff. Thank God they gave me a head, because I'm not gonna go and try and that was one thing that was very annoying about the iPhones, because like now they don't give you the head. What do you call this thing? The plug. They don't give you the plug anymore because they're being stingy. They're saying they're being sustainable, but I think they're being stingy. And then you've got the thing that connects to the head here. I think that fits in somehow. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So yeah, you get a laptop, you get the charging plug, you get these two lot for the head, and then obviously you get the actual MacBook. So let me go and open this up. I really love the color. But this was one of my biggest fears when I was getting this MacBook, of like, it's really heavy. I knew that would be the case, but I was just like, I'm sure I'll be fine. But it's like, it's really, really, really heavy. Like, I have another, and I'll show you my work laptop. I have my work laptop here, which is a Lenovo ThinkPad. Forgive the dust, but this is like, again, very similar size as the MacBook. Right, it's quite similar. There's not that much of a big difference between both of them in size. There is a little bit, but the MacBook is much more heavier than the Lenovo. I wouldn't say much more, but it is heavier. It's noticeably heavier than it. It looks like a big iPad. I don't know if they've done something to the edges of the MacBooks, but yeah, it looks like a big iPad basically. I don't know if you can see that. It looks quite, because my sister has a MacBook, and it looks a little bit different to that. So opening it off. Hear that sound, man, that is fantastic. So I love that. And then I didn't touch anything, guys. All I did was open up the laptop. I opened up the laptop, and this is what I'm getting straight away. So this is the thing, like when it comes to MacBooks, like I just love how they just make it so exciting, and it's just like, oh, it just, like, look at that. I want to see hola when I spend when I spend this amount of money on the laptop. Yes, you gotta say hello to me in all how many different languages. Yes, please. Depending on the screen that you're watching this on, you can tell that that is a beautiful screen. You can tell that, like, it just looks good. I'm so sorry. Xin chao. Hello. It just looks really good. It looks really good. It's just sexy, man. It's just, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That this is the thing. This is why I wanted to get a MacBook. I was just like, I love that. Okay, that was Greek. I love that so much. So, salut. How many languages can I pick up from this thing? So anyway, I'm gonna let it do that. I think it's gonna keep doing that. I just realized I'm probably being a bit dumb right now. It's probably gonna keep doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually press some buttons because that happened as soon as I opened it. Okay. So I have finally finished setting up my Mac, and the one thing that I did want to mention was that on the body, so let's look at the body just a little bit. So if you're familiar with Macs, again, I never used one, but I had friends who did. If you're familiar with the Mac, basically, or the MacBook, what used to happen in the newer versions was that there was a bar coming across here where you had like a touch bar. I'm not sure what people did with it, but it was essentially like a screen here. I think it had things like your fingerprints, and you could use that to navigate apps. However, on the newest one, they have taken that away completely. So you can see my Mac, it only has keys. The only thing it does have is just right here at the corner is this black thing that is, it has no symbol on it, basically just identifying that that is for your fingerprint. So it doesn't look as nice as the touch bar. That's all I'm gonna say. Functionally, I think, obviously, I don't think I would have cared enough to have that, and honestly, I'd much rather have the space, but I do love the fact that I can sign in with my fingerprint into this MacBook. I've set that all up already, which is fantastic. There was a lot of things that you can set up that they ask you at the beginning, which I think is helpful, so you don't have to go through digging through settings to find them. Lots of contracts to sign, and the things to do with accessibility, the system, like whether the system is light or not, whether you want to turn on like location. So in a way, it doesn't feel as intense as a laptop. I don't know if that's terrible to say that, but like, if you get what I mean, it feels like I'm setting up an iPhone, so it feels fun. That's the one thing that I would say straight off the back, that it just feels very fun to set this up at the moment. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So that's really good. Let's look at the sockets, but we haven't started looking at the main screen yet because I haven't actually put it on. This is the bad boy that made me spend £400. This is it, this guy here. That's my SD card slot, and then on this side you can see you've got a HDMI cable just there, and then I think you've got like a USB-C one just there as well, yeah? So, which I think is good. On this other side, you have your normal charging point for your laptop over here. And then you have two USB-C connections, and then you've got like a, you know, the old headphones that Apple took away from us? Yeah, that one. You've got the jack there to insert it. So it doesn't have any USB-A or the old USB stick. It only has the USB-C. I have this USB-A at the moment for my mouse. This is my mouse. I have this ergonomic mouse that's really good because I have like wrist problems. But I can't use that. So I think a while back I got this. Actually, I think it was years back when I had that old MacBook that I gave away. I got this what's it called, connector adapter. So this is small and I can work with this because once I put this in here, I believe oh, come on. We're gonna get there eventually. Yes, so once I put this in here, so now the USB is connected in here, and then I now have a USB-C. My computer, which is behind me, has it connects with a USB-C anyway, so that was one of the reasons I'm really hoping, I'm going to test it as well, that I can use and dock it into a Lenovo monitor that is not a Mac. So, and I hope that it works, and it works well, because I'm really looking forward to using that. And I feel like the MacBook is great for some things, because it's literally like, I guess, yeah, your thingy will tell you, but I feel like a Windows laptop will just kind of accept anything that you put in, whereas your MacBook, I found, will always ask you if you do actually want to allow it. Again, maybe it was a setting that I had on my Windows, but I found that it just, if I put in a USB, it will connect the USB and tell me instead, whereas this one gives me a prompt to say, do I want to connect? And then I say allow. And then now, I now have my mouse able to move this, which is good. So let us test. One of the things that I was worried about is like connect, like, so for example, you can see, you probably can't see that, but I'm trying to go like this, so from this one to this one, but on Windows you have to go and click on extend, for example, to be able to extend that. On my Mac, I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to do that, to be honest. So I have sorted it out, and now I am able to go from one to the other screen to the other, and it's pretty seamless, to be honest. It's fairly straightforward. There's nothing to really worry about there. I can drag things across here. As you can see, I can drag other things and then add that here, and then it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and open my Chrome. The thing is though that because I have such a, oh, that's interesting, now stop. Because I have such a big screen on one hand and then a small one on the other hand, it's a little bit annoying to like, I'm not dragging side by side, I'm almost like dragging down and up. So that's annoying, but that's a personal problem that I can sort out. I will go ahead and film a video, edit a video and DaVinci Resolve, and then I will post that, and that will be just to, not to post, but I will add a comment around that just so you can see whether that actually delivered on my DaVinci Resolve rendering functionalities that I wanted with a Mac. Guys, I said I must add this part of this video, and this is the reason why I got a MacBook. Can you see how quick this is rendering? Let's look at the time a little bit more. So this is a video on Bali that I'm posting, and let me turn it to make sure it's focusing, and it's moving. I just started and it's already 10% in, and on my what do you call these other computers, it just takes bloody ages. It just takes so long to render videos, but on this it's gonna do a 30-minute video in 7 minutes, and I used to have to wait an hour, 2 hours for the same thing on my HP. So for me, that's the reason why I decided that this would be a MacBook is the best option for me from that perspective, because I wasn't getting the same rendering times on my normal Windows computer. And I also checked, my brother has a Windows computer, we checked it, compared it, and the difference was just, it was still very slow. But this is moving so quickly. All of the settings are still the same. MP4, HD, the frame rate is about 100,000 kilobytes per second. But yeah, so quick, so quick. I used to have to render my videos and go to sleep. And then hopefully in the morning there'll be something there. Yeah, game changer, honestly. So I'm gonna click on continue, and then we'll carry on. Another thing as well is that one thing with the Mac is, which I find interesting, is that you have to set this up. Like, this is a touchpad in the middle, and you kind of have to set that up. So at the moment it doesn't tap. When I tap, it doesn't do anything. When I tap, yes, I have to click for it to do anything. And I know even my sister's one recently, I had to set up her right click to give you the right click options. So that's like, it would be good if those things came preset, so you don't have to go and do those, because they have a lot of really fun things that they make you do up front. So it'd be good if those came preset, like tap is tap, and then left click, right click. Those are basic laptop functionalities, but Apple makes you go and try and find where to do them, but that's that. Apart from that, on the outside, as I said, it looks like a book. Yeah, so this is how it looks. It looks like a big iPad without a face. I wished that my my housemate has a I can't even remember what laptop it is, that has basically this bit comes off and it can become detachable. I think eventually Apple needs to be able to move towards that, because me having to get a MacBook and then have an iPad, I think it's a bit excessive. So something that is this powerful, that you can detach the screen and use the screen only, I think would be a game changer. But knowing Apple, they're probably like, drip feeding us, and that's probably something that they're going to eventually bring out in the future. But I would really look forward to doing that, because sometimes I don't need all this bit, right? So I don't know how, I guess then, I'm not sure in terms of what system is where. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, because this is all the chunk that makes the computer work. So obviously that sits in where the keyboard is. And I know that functionally the design would have to change for you to be able to detach this bad boy and just use the screen. Just, in case anybody from Apple is watching, you all need to sort that out, okay? So I'm going to click on continue, but like a typical laptop, you do have your thingy button, click in to carry on. But guys, look at this screen. Look at this, come and see beauty. Do you understand what I mean by the screen is? It is so, like, this is it for me. I want to open my laptop and let it just be like, scrumptious, okay? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I really love that about this. So what are we gonna do now? I'm gonna stop showing you my face because nobody wants to see all that, and then I'll switch over to showing you this laptop, and then let's have a play about some things that I want to see. Okay, so I think the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm connected to the Wi-Fi already. I'm gonna go on to Safari. I don't use Safari in real life because who does that? Like, let's be honest. But I'm going to quickly go on to YouTube because I find that, again, my tap isn't working. That's going to irritate me. So I'm going to sort that out first. You see, I'm trying to tap and it's not tapping. So let me sort that out first. Let's go into youtube.com. I will say as well, the keys on the Mac are so much like different to what I'm used to. I don't know how, this is probably like just a girly problem, but when I use other people's MacBooks before, I found that my fingers slip on the keys. I don't know how to explain it, but the keys are a little bit more like, they have a little bit more friction than what I'm used to on the Mac, from the ones that I've seen or used. So I do love that. Again, I feel like I got scammed because I don't have my track bar, not for any other reason other than the fact that it just looks more advanced than what I have right now. But I guess at the end of the day, it's what the functionality is that matters rather than, I guess to some extent, how it looks, I guess. What do I always watch? I always watch Sherry. So you can see that, yeah? I love the screen. Although at the moment, it's not giving me too much. I'm gonna increase the brightness so you can see more of that. Okay. It's not doing too much, right? It's like, okay, maybe let me see my settings. I'm on the highest quality, so which is 1080p.
I knew that you were coming with the hair.
So let me turn off the audio. So in terms of the visuals, like, it's okay. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not like, it's not absolutely fantastic. I feel like the actual Apple feels nicer than like the video, but then maybe it might just be the quality of that one video. So this guy, Kelly Clarkson, and who else again does good videos? Let me skip that. Yeah, so that feels the same. 1080p HD as well. So when it comes to YouTube, I will say I'm not overly excited about how it looks. There's some, yeah, this guy, Jimmy Kimmel, his videos, the video quality is usually really good. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, now that's good. Yes, that is good. That is good. Okay. Okay. So I think it's, again, obviously, you can't recreate what doesn't exist. So if people have filmed videos with interesting camera qualities, then yeah. So I guess this is a good test to prove that Jimmy Kimmel's camera quality is better than Sherry's and Kelly Clarkson's. But I do love both of them. Anyway, that's aside. Cynthia and her bald head is shining, shining, shining. We love it. Yeah, so this is beautiful. This is what I expected. I love it to bits. Right, let's think about the audio now, because I always use YouTube to think about the audio. So let me escape. I do have Apple Music, sponsored by my sister. So I'm signed in again. This is what I'm talking about. When because I'm signed into Apple, I don't have to think about so much. I'm already logged in, and it's gone and found all the people that I listen to. I guess I've been going through things. I've been listening to Adele, okay? But yeah, I love it so much. So this is one of my favorite songs. So let's listen to that and see what it does with the sound. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay. Ah, that sounds amazing. Mm-hmm. And I love that you can do this. Oh yes. Again, I always forget about like what do they call this thing on copyright, so I can't play too much, but yes. Ooh, that is like, those are good speakers. Yes. Ooh, yes. Uh-huh. I love it so much. Okay, I'm in love. I think I love the audio quality more than the video quality initially. Again, because of what I saw with the YouTube videos. But again, I know that that is down to the people who posted. Those were like, that was like the main thing I wanted to show you on the audio. In terms of the apps, I think it will take me time to figure out. Like I said, it would have been so good, wouldn't it have been really fantastic if you can just like do that, right? I think when they eventually get a MacBook where I can do that, oh my god, yes, I would love that. So if I can scroll, I would love that so much. There's this iPhone mirroring feature that it has where you can like connect to your iPhone. I'm probably not going to use much of that because I don't want to. I'm so sorry, like I really don't. So yeah, what I need more is like I need to transfer something now. How can I get that across? So that's what I need more than obviously the instantaneous stuff. So I've got my messages, and again, because it's connected into the wonderful Apple ecosystem, so messages can send and receive your iPhone on this map. I'll say turn on. So I think one thing that I do like though is that it doesn't automatically sync with your phone. I know that you can set that up. I can't think of that right now, but I know that that's something that you can do. But again, I get messages in a lot of places, and I'm happy for that to just sit in my my actual phone for now. My battery is still going. As I said, I was stubborn and I refused to plug it. I'm now at 72%, and I have been doing a lot of stuff like downloading things and that, and the battery hasn't moved that much. They said that it does have 22 hours of battery life. Whether that's true or not, obviously we're gonna have to see, but I'll leave it unplugged so that I can test that and test it well. So let me connect it to my docking station now and just confirm that it works. While I'm here though, I do want to say that I love the feel of this wire. I'm not sure if you can see it. It feels like fabric basically. I'm not sure it's fabric, but like it has this texture on it, which I think is really, really good. I think it's better than like the conventional one that is a slippery texture. Just want to say that I love it. It is quite long as well, so at least you can work from lots of different places. But yeah, and I also like that it doesn't have the bulky bits that a normal like traditional laptop charger would have. It's just literally a cord, so that's kind of great. So I love that it's asking me now if I want to migrate from a PC. I think that's fantastic because I do want to migrate from a PC. You have information on a PC. So again, they always say that Apple isn't very inclusive, but I feel like that is quite inclusive because at least it's giving me the option of a MacBook over a PC. So let me see what happens if I say I want to migrate from a PC. Mac is actually quite rude. Apple's quite rude. Look at that laptop. Look at the way that they represented that laptop there. Like something from the 1980s, like from when computer was invented. They're so rude. My concern about this at the moment is that it's going to take a really long time, and I don't know if I have the patience to wait for this because I'm in the middle of filming a lot of things. But I guess this is going to be a testament to whether or not this is supposed to be like a really seamless process, or if this is something that you should do in the middle of the night. I have a feeling it's probably the latter, but let's have a look. Another thing that I think I'm gonna fall in love with as well with this is that it has this feature where it allows your phone to be your camera. I'm always struggling because sometimes I film with my my actual iPhone, and I think I could be wrong. Dob corrects me on this, but I believe that the camera on your iPhone is generally better. I'm not sure how many is it megapixels? I believe so, that this camera has, but it can automatically connect your phone, and then it has like a desk view. I'm like, oh, let me try it now. I guess because my camera is not on, is it gonna use the camera on my phone, or is it using the camera on my... I'm not sure how that works because I'm trying on my phone right now and I don't know which way it works. But anyway, regardless, I think that would be like such a cool feature to have. I generally have no other problems with this. Like, it's literally perfect otherwise. It does look almost like a standard HP apart from the Apple logo just right there in the middle. As I said earlier, the resolution on the screen is fantastic. The body and the feel, sometimes I find Macs to be a little bit too slippery. This isn't too slippery. It sort of holds nicely that I can hold that and walk around. It is heavy, but I know that that comes with all the additional functionalities. This has the M4 chip, is the 2024 model, so It has a lot of promises. There was something in there about some Apple intelligence, but I think that's something that Apple is trying to tap into AI, and there's probably going to be a little bit more in the future about that. But I think all the models even had that. But as I said, I wanted to come in at the market, and then because I'm not changing my laptop anytime soon. But they could have squished, and then because it got rid of the touch bar. Anyway, but yeah, because it got rid of the touch bar, I just feel like I have an inferior product, whereas I know that the reverse is probably the case. Not probably, definitely is the case. It is really, really expensive, but it was kind of like an investment for me anyway. So it is really, really expensive. I think that most people who won't be doing a lot of editing can go with like the Air, which again, as I said, will probably save you £300-400 on this model as of today. The speakers are fantastic, as I've shown you. The resolution is fantastic, and all round, I really, really like it. In comparison to some of the other things that you probably have on the market right now, I think standard going price for a laptop is around £700 roughly. This is £1,000 more, so it is a pretty penny in my opinion, and this is why I hesitated so much, because I just couldn't justify it, you know. But when I think of all the frustrations that I have when it comes to just the lack of integration that I had between my phone and my laptop, and sometimes I would have to post things, send them to my Facebook, and then go to my Facebook online, and like, it's too much stress. Like, nobody has time for that. Over the years, over the course of 8 years, when I divide that out and look at how much I'm putting into this at that ratio, obviously I think that it evens out. To be honest, it evens out. To spend £200 a year or so for my laptop, I think is a price that I'm willing to pay for what it does for me. So yeah, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope it's been helpful. Hope you found something good in there that's helpful for you. If you're an unbeliever like I used to be in terms of MacBooks, you should definitely think about getting one. You don't have to get something this expensive. My sister got a refurbished one. I wanted to make a video about it as well, but I didn't have the time. She got a refurbished, I think 2020 or 2022 model, one of those years. So fairly recent, with one of the M whatever chips that they have now. Mine is M4. And yeah, it was like 1K, which again is like £300 from a normal laptop to get all these functionalities that I'm talking about. So you don't have to go for the big box. In terms of the Apple Intelligence as well, I think the other models, like down to, I'm not sure what year, but there was a couple of years below this one that do have the Apple Intelligence. So again, you don't have to spend that much money. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you somewhere in this space sometime soon. Bye bye.